All right, so now we're going to be waiting for a few minutes here while we wait. Oh, actually, it looks like one other person did come in. Hello, how you doing tonight, sir, madam? Let's see. We're just gonna wait a few minutes here. So, how'd your day go today? Yeah, we're back down to one. Okay. Anyways, and we're back up to two. All right. Hey, Woody. Um, hello, Mikestand. Hey, Woody. Yeah, we're just waiting on some people to come in. Thank you for the like and share, and hopefully we can get some more friendly people in here. How did your day go today, Woody? Anything exciting happen for you today, or is it just the same old, same old? Well, you may laugh, but you did not do your math. Oh, what a day! Oh, what a day! On and on and on and on. Bam, 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 bam. There we go. See what you have to say here, Woody. Not much happens here, but there's a pretty amazing weather front. The jet stream is blowing, the hurricane moisture overhead for the next 12 hours. So there are flood warnings. So you're basically getting some rain coming your way, is what you're saying. Well, that might be a nice change. Well, I guess, and of course you're a little north of me because you're like, whereas I'm in Southern California here, you're in Arkansas, and Arkansas is a little further north. So you know, yeah. So you'll probably get flooding, but at least you won't get hit by. At least you won't get hit by the full impact of the hurricane. Hopefully. Hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Three. Yeah, so it's as you know, it's Hump Day, so we're right in the middle of the week. So yeah. So anyways, yeah. So anyway, so how is your cat? How are your cat or cats doing there, Woody? I'm not sure. I don't remember if you just had the one cat or you had more than the one cat. I'll ask this again, just in case you didn't hear me or something like that. I was wondering, how your cat or cats are doing. Don't remember if you just had the one cat or if you had more than one cat. Oh, my main cat is doing just great. I sort of have another one, but she has remained mostly feral and refuses to come indoors except for the absolute coldest days. And look like we have a third person. Well, we had a third person here for a moment. Um, well, at least they were nice enough to give me a like, so that was cool. And maybe they're back now. Yeah. So, third person, how is your day going? Hopefully, everything's going well for you. Anyways, probably. Uh, how about you, Mike? Do you ever get out to see the ocean? No, I haven't. I haven't been out. I haven't really been too far out of my hometown here in quite some time. I mean, I do go over into the next county, walk over there from where I live here, but every now and again. But I haven't really gone too far outside my general range here in a while. I mean, granted, I live in L.A. County, and I probably will be going over into Orange County more, to do stuff. But so yeah. All right, so we're coming up on 8.5 minutes now, and there's two of, well, maybe I'll give it a little more time, real quick here, before I start talking about what's on tap. There's only two of us here right now, so um, yeah. So, anyways, um, ocean's quite a bit of ways away from me, anyways. Um, so, anyways, all right. So we're at 9 minutes now. All right. So, anyways, on and on and on and on, by the bed bone. Oh, on and on and on and on. Oh, you may laugh, 'cause you did not do your math. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. All right. So, probably at the 10-minute mark, I'll try to talk about what's on tap, and then we'll get into the stories here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hey, Dave, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here. Howdy, Mike. I'm a listening, playing Paper Mario. Yeah, yeah. I saw you were over on Crow's stream as well. Thank you for dropping in, and if you haven't already, you can like and share the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be great as well. Um, Anyway, so here's what's on tap for tonight. I do have 8 stories I'm going to go over tonight. 2 comics related and 6 anime related. Mario, a hero among plumbers. Yep. Um, let me see. One story we're going to be covering is how DC is continuing to take their, their legacy established characters and trying to push their agendas. Um, Also, we got some an ArcToons update on the anime side of it. We got some trailers coming out, as well as some news surrounding the let's see the Japanese voice cast of Cowboy Bebop is going to be dubbing the live action series, and of course Netflix just got the license to stream the original anime as well. Let's see. Also, um, in other news, we've got a couple of little profile pieces on one talking about why Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are different, and and why Tsukuyomi Moon Phase is a wacky anime. So wacky vampire anime. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started on this day, and or I'm sorry, not this day in Ichizu, but get started on the news here. Anyways, there we go. There. Alrighty then. So here we go. So here's the first article we're going to look at here. I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this article, but then I saw the first little bit of it, so I decided I'm going to go for it. I usually don't do these articles because I don't like putting a huge spotlight on this stuff, but I figured. Okay, so DC Comics debuts new trans OMAC in final issue of Superman and the Authority. And OMAC is One Man Army Corps, is what they're pointing out as. Article by Spencer McCulley published earlier today. Now this is the reason why I decided to go ahead and cover this, because of Spencer's first statement here, first paragraph here. Continuing in their obsession with using the legacy identities of the superheroes as cheap attempts at, in smaller quotes, rainbow marketing, as seen in their recent confirmations that both Tim Drake and John Kent are sexually and romantically interested in men, DC Comics has now introduced a new transgender version of OMAC into their current comic book continuity. Now, I don't think this isn't as bad, because they're at least, they're not, now granted, maybe the legacy aspect of it is using an OMAC character, so just creating, but at least they're creating a new character. So you have a problem. Superman and the Authority, Volume 1, Number 3, Grim Dark. Words by Grant Morrison, art by Michael Gemin and Jordi Belair. First seen on the covers too, and briefly in the third issue of Grant Morrison's recently concluded Superman and the Authority, the new OMAC makes his full debut in the miniseries' final issue, wherein he can be seen lashing out at Apollo out of the mistaken belief that the solar-powered hero has had a hand in the disappearance of his girlfriend, Leah Nelson, better known as the new female incarnation of the new god, Light Ray. So I guess this guy is identifying as this person's identifying as a he, I guess. All right, so here's Superman and the Authority, Volume 1, Number 4, widescreen. Words by Grant Morrison, art by Michael Jamin and Jordi Belair. Ultimately, after discovering Eclipso was responsible for Light Ray's disappearance and putting an end to the machinations of the villain's handler, the Ultra Humanite, Light Ray is invited to join Superman's Authority team. Yet, before accepting his invitation, Light Ray informs Man of Steel that she and OMAC are a package deal, stating that wherever she goes, her pink haired companion goes as well. Before he's even had a chance to oblige Light Ray's condition, the Man of Steel is soon met with an overtly defensive and insecure rundown of their relationship from OMAC, all of which concludes in the vocal declaration of their own personal pronouns. Oh boy! Yeah, like we need to really see that in the comics, don't we? Now, my guess is Superman and the Authority. This might be. Solid saying, "Hey there, Dave." Solid. All right. So, anyways, quote: "Me and she were mac and cheese, stars and stripes, cops and protesters, laws and outlaws." Unquote. The transgender superhero says to Superman, "Quote: Where she goes, I'm there. Pronouns he, him, they." Oh, brother. And I believe that, yeah, this is probably Clark. It's probably before they sent Clark off to War World, I'm guessing. Yeah, Superman doesn't seem to care whether or not he's trans. He just likes the fact that he can, fight. As of writing, little is known about Morrison's new OMAC including whether they share any direct relation to either the original One Man Army Corps iteration of the character created by Jack Kirby, the Omni Mind, and community drones created by Batman's brother Eye Shield, the now depowered One Machine Attack construct version, seen briefly in the new 52, or even the OMAC concept as a whole. However, it does appear that all new OMAX design does make use of various imagery seen across the character's various depictions, including a circular red chest symbol and forehead markings reminiscent of Kirby's classic eye icon. OMAC Volume 1, Number 6, The Body Bank, 1975, DC Comics, words and art by Jack Kirby. What do you make of Morrison's new OMAC? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Yeah, I think with the particular thing of him like coming out and just telling Superman all that stuff is just stupid. Yeah, again, it is pretty evident that what Spencer pointed out here is exactly what they're doing. Taking a legacy character and making it so he's going to quote unquote represent. All right, so anyways, let's see. It says I got 2 people viewing at least. I think there might be more. I hope. Anyways, let's get ready to. Let's see what we're at the 22, coming on 23 minutes, so that's not too bad. Let's get ready to move on to the next article here, and this one. Here we go. 5 new titles arrive on ArcToons, including a brand new series from Chuck Dixon. Article by John F. Trent, publisher. So it's been a while since we've actually seen any kind of ArcToons review or updates or anything like that. So let's see what they got here for us. ArcToons, the digital comics platform created by Archaven Comics publisher Vox Day, announced 5 new titles arrived on the platform. The 5 titles are Radio Boy, My Sister Suprema, Rebel Dead Revenge, Chateau Grief, and Shotgun Samurai. All 5 titles can be found at archaven.com. Radio Boy. Translated into English for the first time. Oh, this one looks like an old one. Created, written, and drawn by heroically by Hanya Nistamika. In a brief description provided by Archaven Comics publisher Vox Day, this new series is, quote, the English version of Radio Boy as translated by the creator known in Japan as, in smaller quotes, the Shogun of the Funnies, unsmaller quote, Hawaya Nistamika. Yeah, you see Radio Boy. I wonder if he's in any connection to Astro Boy. However, the series is actually a parody of popular Japanese manga Astro Boy, with 3 stories written by Chuck Dixon. Okay. Dixon even provides the pencils in the first story titled Radio Boy. Now, everyone might be going back to working place to assure our nation's place in the world market. It's kind of funny. I picked it right up on that it felt like Astro Boy, and then the next statement is it's actually a parody of Astro Boy. The stories were originally published in a one shot from Eclipse Comics back in 1987, but will now be available on Arctoons. The first two episodes are currently available to read on the digital comics platform. New episodes debut on Friday. My Sister Suprema. I don't like comic books. I love them. My Sister Suprema is a new original title from Chuck Dixon and artist Anthony Gonzalez Clark. No, 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 no. Hey! uh, the comic's official description states, quote, Randy wants nothing more in life than to be a superhero. But when his scientific experiments intended to turn himself into a costumed crusader accidentally transform his sister into one instead, he finds that he has somehow become a sidekick. Gut. Huh? Dixon provided more details in a YouTube video. He explained, quote, it's very much a superhero parody. It's a sibling rivalry comedy. Thanks to Anthony's terrific manga influence art, he really put this over the top. Dixon continued, it's a fast-paced, family-friendly, funny story. And quote, it's a fast-paced, family-friendly, funny story about a kid who loves comic books. But what he really wants to do is just not read about superheroes. He wants to be one. And he finds a mysterious website that gives him the formulation to turn himself into a superhero. Unquote. Now that's isn't that every kid's dream to be a superhero? We talk about it a lot, well, I talk about it in a lesser degree and just wanting to just hang out with superheroes in the comics. But I'm sure we have all felt that way that maybe sometimes we actually wouldn't mind being superheroes. So, anyways, as we shall continue on here, as we're coming up on the half hour mark here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. He added, quote, unfortunately, things don't go the way he plans, and his sister, his big sister Cecilia, is the one who ends up with superpowers. And she has no interest in being a superhero. So it's up to Randy, who wants to live vicariously through his big sister. It's up to Randy to guide her and nudge her and push her toward being a costume superpowered vigilante, unquote. This is My Sister Suprema. The first episode debuted on Arctoons on Sunday, October 10th. That was this past Sunday, of course. New episodes will also debut on Sundays. Rebel Dead Revenge. We will live free or die. Forward! Rebel Dead Revenge comes from writer and artist Gary Krapich. The official description states, quote, the devil's plan to destroy America with an army of fallen rebels lacks only one thing to succeed, a general of genius to lead them. Then Stonewall Jackson dies. The real story of the Battle of Gettysburg can finally be told, and this time it has zombies, unquote. Publisher Vox Day also described it as a quote, dark Christian historical fantasy, unquote. Get thee behind me, Satan. I reject you and your lies. Hell has no power over me. The series, originally published in 3 separate installments and eventually collected into graphic novel form. The first 2 episodes debuted on Arctoons on Monday, October, so a couple days ago. New episodes are expected to debut on Mondays moving forward. Outside, amidst the confusion of the army camp, a lone figure keeps a steadfast vigil. Jim Lewis, Stonewall Jackson's personal servant. Chateau Grief. Oh, look at the art on this. This is interesting. Chateau Grief is the first independent comic to join the Arctoons platform. It is created by John Guillet. The first episode debuted on Tuesday, October 12th. Announcing the series on his website, Day wrote, quote, "We're very pleased to introduce Chateau Grief, which marks the first independent comic to join the platform since we added the ability for creators to create their own series and upload their own episodes." Unquote. Series official description states, quote, U.S. Army telepath Xander must choose between his best friend and the woman he loves, both of whom have ulterior motives for using him as a weapon in a supernatural war, unquote. It continues, quote, will his desperation to find a family leave him more alone than before? Chateau Grief is the story of a man adrift amid conflicting pressures of state, family, and community, justice, mercy, tradition, and public riots, unquote. Look at that. New episodes are expected to debut 3 times a week on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Shotgun Samurai. Let's see if you guys are saying anything about any of this thus far. And doesn't look like there's any new comments coming in. Hoping you guys are, in fact, enjoying the content here. That stuff does sound pretty interesting to a certain degree. Right, so Shotgun Samurai. Shotgun Samurai comes from creator Donkey Madness. Like Chateau Grief, it is also an independent comic. The official description states, quote, Shotgun Samurai is the story of a wandering samurai on a journey to right the wrongs of his past, accompanied only by a mysterious weapon, the dragon sword, quote unquote. He travels around helping those in need and publishing evildoers. The description adds, quote, when his past catches up to him, he finds himself forced to rely upon the assistance of Tofu the ninja, and George the ramen chef to put an end to the tyrannical rule of the local despot. Unquote. The story was originally crowdfunded on Indiegogo back in April. That crowdfunded promised the graphic novel features over 200 pages of samurai shotgun action. First episode debuted on ArcTunes on Wednesday, October 3rd. So today, new episodes are expected to debut on Wednesdays. If you are an independent comic creator and want to have your work featured on ArcTunes, Vox Day encourages creators to send submissions to submissions at Archaven. Which of these 5 new comics are you most looking forward to read? Have you already read some of them? Did you enjoy them? I haven't. You know, I mean, I am thinking about possibly going out and checking out. So that's it for the comic side of it, anyways. Some anime stories to get through, which we'll probably get into here in a few minutes. Uh, Come on, there we go. So now we got 6 anime stories to kind of go through. This will be the first one. All right. Well, before get into this, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back now. So let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. Why Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are fundamentally different. Despite being a part of the same story, Dragon Ball and um, Dragon Ball Z are vastly different in tone from one another. Here's why. Article by Molly Kishikawa, published 15 hours ago. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z may hail from the mind of Akira Toriyama, but they possess dramatically different tones. The former was a lighthearted comedic adventure story about a boy looking for a mystical treasure, the Dragon Balls, with elements of martial arts mixed in. The latter was a show about martial arts fighters going head to head with new adversaries, while the Dragon Balls played a more minor role and were used more as a failsafe for when large numbers of people died. Mhm. That does sound a bit right. While both stories followed the same cast of characters, there was a darker feel to Dragon Ball Z, with characters dying more often and with more violent imagery. Cell absorbing people through his tail traumatized many a child back in the day. Um, but if one was a sequel to the other, why did it feel like two completely different properties? When Toriyama began Dragon Ball, he intended it as a retelling of the Chinese epic Journey to the West. Goku would serve as a stand-in for Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, and he would search for the legendary Dragon Balls, with other characters also inspired by the story. The series was lighter in tone, with a more childlike take on a grand adventure. There were fights to be had, but they seldom took center stage. They they were a means to an end and weren't meant to consume the majority of the runtime. There's Bulma right there, a younger Bulma. However, later in the story, the tone slowly began to shift from the adventure portion to the fights. Goku began to train with Master Roshi alongside Krillin, and they entered the World Martial Arts Tournament. That was the beginning of the fighting focused series it is today. Toriyama wanted to end the series after Pilaf's defeat and Goku gathered the Dragon Balls, but his editor wouldn't allow it. That's when the series went from being a retelling of Journey to the West to the battle manga we know. The editors are the main players in the change the series went through because they recognized a moneymaker when they saw it. Yu Kondo, in particular, pushed Toriyama to make the series darker and the fights more grand. Toriyama tried to end the series several times throughout its run, but the editors pushed him to keep it going. Kondo urged for many of the major storylines in Dragon Ball Z and had a hand in the creation of Gohan and Raditz. He also introduced the concept of new transformations and the return of the great ape form. It got to the point that Toriyama may have based Frieza on him. What? So are they saying here that Frieza was based on his editor there, who was forcing him to continue a story he didn't want to necessarily continue? Wow, we got four people in here. Hello, hello. I hope you're enjoying the content here. We're talking about why Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are different. I know. Well, that looks like Goku talking to one of the Kai's there. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z had different tones, and Toriyama's style changed to reflect that. Characters went from having softer palettes and shapes to being more vivid and angular. Toriyama had to make them more muscular to reflect the battle aspects and the training they needed to undergo to achieve certain feats. The character designs began to resemble that of other manga such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Fist of the North Star. Yeah, with guys basically having no sleeves on their tops, being in like some form of pants and or some form of a gi that had the bottoms and the top and all that. The original designs looked more like Toriyama's other work, Dr. Slump, and appealed more to children. The new style was aimed at a more mature audience. And there was some crossover between Dr. Slump and Dragon Ball, even in the anime. The drastic change in tone between Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z wasn't a result of Toriyama's creativity, but rather more from influence from his editors, particularly Yu Kondo. Because Kondo believed a battle manga would be more successful, and he saw how popular the original Dragon Ball was. He pushed Toriyama to continue the story in the way he wanted, not how Toriyama originally envisioned. That resulted in the drastic differences between the two iterations, with one being an adventure story and the other being a fighting story. Well, on the one hand, yeah, I'd say that editor Yu Kondo was a jerk, but I think in the end it did. I mean, it made them both a lot of money too. I mean, because the Dragon Ball franchise is considered one of the more successful franchises in all of manga and anime history. So I would say, I mean, obviously, I don't necessarily agree with how it came about, but obviously, Kondo, I think could have been a little more, try to be a little more persuasive to, and just because it sounds like you saying that Kondo kind of forced him to do that. So, wow, you guys haven't said anything. Well, you guys haven't said anything in a while. So, wow. I hope you're enjoying the. I hope that means you're enjoying the content. I don't mind if you guys say hi once in a while to let me know you're still there. Anyways, we're gonna get ready to move on to the next story here. Go back and check where we're at time wise. 48 minutes. So yeah, 48, just past the 48-minute mark. So Attack on Titan's final season gets new trailer premiere date. The first footage from the second half of Attack on Titan's final season has been revealed, along with a definitive return date for the series. Article by Michael Lacerna, published 13 hours ago. That might be sometime this morning that he posted it. The first trailer for the second half of Attack on Titan's final season has been revealed, as well as the show's newly finalized premiere date of January 9th. So that probably means that it'll probably come to Toonami sometime like in the fall of next year, maybe. The new trailer begins with Aaron asking, quote, "You've been waiting for 2,000 years, haven't you?" Unquote. Before cutting to new footage from throughout the final act of the series. Episode 76 of the series will be broadcast in Japan on January 9th, with Japanese network NHKG airing 6 new recap specials beforehand to refresh viewers' memories on the first 75 episodes of the giant slaying series. These specials will also feature interwoven footage from the anime's OVA, original video animation releases, which showed certain events from the show from the perspective of other characters, such as Mikasa, Levi, and Annie. Mappa, the animation studio that is producing the final season of the series, says it will also add some newly animated scenes to the recap specials. The second half of the season will adapt the remaining chapters of Hajime Isayama's manga including its divisive ending. The first half of the season aired from December 2020 to March 2021 and was animated by Jujutsu Kaisen studio Mappa, who took over the series from Wit Studios, Vivi, Fluorite Eyes Song, Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress, um, which animated the first 3 seasons of the show. Mappa will continue to animate the finale of the series, while Wit Studios is rumored to be embroiled in a financial crisis that has seen the studio be taken under new management. They're in a financial crisis, even though they had one of the more popular shows out there. That's kind of interesting. Kodansha also recently released a trailer for the final print volume of the manga, which is currently scheduled to be released in the United States and Canada on October 19th. So 6 days from now, basically. Retailers Kinokuniya, Books A Million, and Barnes & Noble will receive special limited editions of the manga that feature variant covers or other bonus materials on release day. Attack on Titan debuted in 2009 with a manga that was published by Kodansha. After Japan's most popular manga magazine, Weekly Shonen Jump, infamously passed on the chance to publish Isayama's story. The series was adapted into an anime in 2013, so wow, 8 years ago, and has since gone on to become one of the biggest anime and manga franchises in the world. With over 100 million copies in circulation worldwide, the series has also spawned multiple spin offs and novelizations, several video games, as well as 2 live-action Japanese movies. A live-action American remake from Warner Brothers is currently in development. First 3 seasons of the anime, as well as part 1 of season 4, are currently available for streaming on Hulu, Crunchyroll, and Funimation. So there we go with that one. All right, so let's get ready to go to. All right. Now, oh, hey, May May. Long time no see. What's up? Sorry I wasn't showing up for a while. Hope everyone's doing good. Yeah, we're doing fine. I'm gonna step away from the camera for a moment. I gotta go do something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. It looks like you guys are starting to talk again. Woody's saying hi, Mimi. Hi, Woody. Like things are going on now. Let's see. Had our ups and downs. We lost 80 Pickle due to a misunderstanding. Had a minor troll who asked stupid questions and left dislikes through several. Yeah, well, May was aware of that one, Woody, but that guy's gone now. Let's just not even talk about him because that guy seems to be gone now, and I hope something to 80 with 80. That goat won $7,600 in bingo game last night. So, anyways, and as always, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Anyways, we're coming up on an hour mark, so I think we're making good time here. All right, so we're going to move on to the next article here. See, before we do that, apparently Woody had something more to say here. It was her birthday, and Mike sang her happy birthday, and Leto made a joke about how she'll be saying it's her birthday all the time now, and she took great offense to this. Oh, hey, Mike, Woody, Dave. So how? All right, we're just going through some articles here. Some interesting stuff tonight, Leto. Um, as always, if you guys can like and share the stream, um, and see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Um, she is being unreasonable. Yeah, Leto. Just to let you know, Woody's just kind of catching May up on what's basically been happening for a while. Wow, we got 7 people in here now. Yay, 7 people! Hooray! We've got 7 people watching. So, anyways, let me get back to the articles here. Okay, so original Cowboy Bebop Japanese voice cast returned to dub Netflix series. The original voice cast from the 1998 Cowboy Bebop anime will reprise their roles in the Japanese dub of Netflix's live action remake of this. I wonder how they're going to handle it because it's going to be a bit of a different thing from the series they were doing. Article by Michael Cerna, published 12 hours ago. And there. Right. While fans remain divided on whether the Netflix upcoming live action remake of Cowboy Bebop recaptures the look of the original anime, viewers of the show's Japanese dub can at least feel confident that it will sound like the original 1998 series. Netflix Japan announced on Twitter that the voice cast of the classic Cowboy Bebop anime series will reprise their roles for the Japanese dub of Netflix's American reboot. Koichi Yamadera will once again provide the Japanese voice for Spike Spiegel, who is portrayed by Star Trek's John Cho in the new series. Jet Black, who is portrayed by Luke Cage's Mustafa Shakir in the live action show, will be voiced by Titan Kusunoki. And Daniela Pineda's Faye Valentine will be dubbed over by veteran Japanese voice actor Megumi Hayashibara, who also starred in other classic 90s anime series such as Neon Genesis Evangelion and Slayer. And also, Megumi also sang a lot of the opening ending themes for a lot of series, too. So, it's quite a multi talented lady there. The rest of the cast include Gara Takashima as Julia, Norio Wakamoto as Vicious, Tsutomu Tereki and Miki Nakagawa as the TV hosts, Punch and Judy, respectively. Full Metal Alchemist Romy Park will also provide the voice of Shin, a younger member of the Red Dragon crime syndicate that plays a key role in Spike and Vicious's story. Oh, wow. So I'm guessing this guy right here is the guy who's going to be voicing, who did the Japanese voice of, you know, this is the pictures on the left, I believe, are the pictures, um, are likely the pictures of the, I think for the most part, are likely the pictures of how they looked back when they originally did the series, and this is now. So this right here is, I think, Megumi Hayashibara back then, and this is her now. Megumi's a very pretty lady. Ah, the voice cast aren't the only members of the original show's team to be part of the new remake. The anime's original director, Shinichiro Watanabe, served as a creative consultant on the series. Um, and we know how he feels about the series. He kind of was very critical of their take on it. While Yoko Kanno, the composer responsible for the series' iconic jazz and blues influenced soundtrack, had returned to create new music for the reboot. The recently revealed opening title sequence for Netflix's new adaptation features Kanno's original theme song, Tank. Cowboy Bebop originally premiered in Japan in 1998 to immediate critical acclaim. Produced by Gundam Animation Studio Sunrise, the series was heralded as an instant classic upon its release thanks to its jazzy soundtrack, slick writing, and feature quality animation. The series is set in a near future where humanity has mastered space travel within the solar system, has abandoned the Earth after a catastrophic accident. But despite the advances in technology, humanity is still plagued with petty criminals, greedy corporations, and corrupt politicians, and organized crime. The show focuses on a team of skilled but unlucky bounty hunters who all end up calling the spaceship Bebop their home, and all of whom are weighed down by their past in different ways. Live action remake of Cowboy Bebop and its Japanese dub will premiere on Netflix on November 19th. So there we go. Go with that one. I'm headed to work, guys. Make it a good show. I always try to do that, my friend. Hey there, Lito. Was an obviously innocuous remark, yes. Drive safely. Edo, drive safe. Hey, Charlotte, I can see you. I can see you again. She took offense to that. All right. So, anyways, let's get to the next article. And here's another Cowboy Bebop story here. Cowboy Bebop. Netflix lands rights to stream the full anime. Ahead of the release of its live-action American remake, Netflix announces that it will once again stream the classic Cowboy Bebop series anime. Article by Michael Sana, published 11 hours ago. The classic Cowboy Bebop anime series is returning to Netflix. As reported by Deadline, the beloved 1998 anime series will return to Netflix's streaming service on October 21st, about a month before. So that'll be basically next Thursday. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. For the premiere of Netflix's new live action remake of the series, which stars Star Trek's John Cho, Luke Cage's Mustafa Shakir, and Jurassic World's Daniela Pineda as the series' central trio of hard luck bounty hunters. All 26 episodes of the original anime will be available to stream from the service, with both its original Japanese language track and its classic English dub, which is generally cited as one of the higher quality dubs of the era. Of course, the dub. Of course, you had Steve Bloom, who did the English voice of Spike. Faye was her voice was provided by Wendy Lee. Her English voice was provided by Wendy Lee, and Bo Billingsley provided the voice of Jet Black. So, little history lesson for you guys there. Netflix also announced that the anime's original voice cast would reprise their roles for the Japanese dub of the upcoming live, which we just read. That was a story we just read. In addition to the series' return to Netflix, Funimation recently announced that it was adding the acclaimed sci-fi series to its library of streaming anime. The anime distributor also announced a series of licensing deals with a number of toy, collectible, and apparel manufacturers to produce new merchandise based on the original show. A crowd-funded tabletop game based on the series is also in the works. Cowboy Bebop was originally released in 1998, directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, who would later go on to direct similarly lauded series such as 2004's Samurai Champloo and 2012's Kids on the Slope, and produced at Gundam Animation Studio Sunrise. The series received a near universal critical acclaim upon its release for its feature quality animation, memorable characters, and jazz-inspired soundtrack. Set in a future where humanity has mastered space travel throughout the solar system, but still struggles with many of the same issues plague modern society, the series tells the story of Spike Spiegel, a laid-back bounty hunter with a violent past. The show also focuses on Spike's partner, a former cop named Jet Black, and Faye Valentine, another bounty hunter who also eventually joins their team. The professional quote-unquote cowboys are also joined by Ed, a genius hacker, and Ain, an equally intelligent, quote, data dog, unquote, who the team rescues from a dog napper and an animal testing laboratory. The team travels the solar system, tracking down wanted criminals to make a living, as each of them discovers that they cannot escape their past. Fans of the classic series can see how live action remake of Cowboy Bebop stacks up when new show premieres on Netflix on November 19th. Oh, there we go with that one. See, how many more do I have? Oh, actually, there was also Lupin. So one, two. I got two more to go through here. Let's see what you guys might be saying right now. All right. Well, we're at hour 13, so we're making good time here at least. So that's good. All right. So let's move on to this next article. This is one of the other articles I was going to read here. New Lupin the Third trailer features the debut of Metal Gear Solid's Akio Otsuka as Jigen. A new trailer of Lupin the Third Part 6 features the first clips of Jigen's new voice actor, Metal Gear Solid and My Hero Academia Akio Otsuka. Article on Michael Ostrana. Well, I wonder why they had. I wonder if maybe the former, considering how old the series is, I wonder if the older voice actor passed away or something. A new trailer for the next episode of Lupin the Third Part 6 features the first clips of Jigen being voiced by his new actor, Akio Otsuka. The new episode of the anime will be the first major release in 50 years in which Jigen has been voiced in Japanese by an actor that isn't Kiyoshi Kobayashi. Kobayashi voiced Jigen for over 5 decades, beginning with TMS Animation's original animated adaptation. Excuse me a moment. Just give me a sec. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that. My sister was asking me if I had gotten the mail. So, anyways, let's get back to the article here. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna just. I don't exactly remember. So, the new episode of the anime will be the first major release in 50 years in which Jigen has been voiced in Japanese by an actor that isn't Kiyoshi Kobayashi. Kobayashi voiced Jigen for over 5 decades, beginning with TMS Animation's original um, animation adaptation of the series in 1971. The 88-year-old actor also appeared in countless other popular anime series throughout his long career, including Mobile Suit Gundam 0083, Stardust Memory, Go-Go 13, and Death Note. Kobayashi announced, well, being 88, I can see this happening. He didn't pass away, but it looks like, but it looks like he announced his retirement. From what this is saying here, Kobayashi announced his retirement earlier this year, making him the final member of the original Lupin, the third voice cast to retire from the long-running franchise. Yasuo Yamada, who voiced the titular Lupin in the original TV broadcast, passed away in 1995, while Chikao Otsuka, who played the swordsman Gaimon, passed in 2015. Kobayashi stayed on the series for one last episode, which aired in Japan on October 9th, which is this past Sunday. The rest of the Lupin the Third Part 6 will feature Akio Otsuka in the role of the expert marksman and Lupin's partner in crime, Daisuke Jigen. While Otsuka is over 20 years younger than his predecessor, so that would make him mid to late 60s there. I mean, 88 minus 20, that's 60. Oh, he's already 68. He is still an accomplished voice actor in his own right, who has starred in multiple hit anime series and video games since the start of his career in the late 1980s. Otsuka is best known as the Japanese voice of Solid Snake, the protagonist in Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid series of the stealth action games. Otsuka has also lent his talents to anime such as Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, The Vision of Escalafone, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Ghost in the Shell. Modern anime fans may recognize his deep, booming voice from My Hero Academia, where he plays All Might, the world renowned superhero that passes the powerful One for All quirk onto the series protagonist Izuku Deku Midoriya. This is not Otsuka's first experience with the Lupin franchise, as he has previously appeared in multiple entries in the series as various side characters, but this will be his first time taking on the role of Jigen. Both of Jigen's voice actors previously worked together in 1991 when both Kobayashi and Otsuka were cast in Mobile Suit Gundam 0083. This season of Lupin the Third will feature an all-star team of guest writers, which includes anime industry luminaries such as Ghost in the Shell's Mamoru Ishii and Doraemon's Masaki Tsuji. The series will feature a highly anticipated clash between anime's most beloved thief and the literary world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Part 6 has already been licensed by Sentai Filmworks for an international release. Sentai Filmworks. So, wonder if they'll try to bring back the LA voice cast to do or if they'll get their own people to do it. Sentai is based in Texas, so just to let you all know. Let's see. Also, guys, seeing my laptop is out of commission until the hardware is sorted out. I've been drawing some comic panels today. Tomorrow, doing my main comic. Seeing I can't do story typing. Sup, bro daddies? Hey, Bat Goat. Hopefully you had another good night of bingo. Let's see. Otsuka was also Big Boss in MGS and Lord Shimura in Ghost of Tsukushima. Hey there, Goat. Hey, Bat Goat. As always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. If you guys can help out with that, that'd be appreciated. If you haven't already. So, anyways, so we'll go on to the last story here then. Go on to the last story here that we'll cover for the last main story, anyways. Is actually, I think we really measured out the time pretty well tonight because we're at an hour 22 right now. So by the time we're all finished here, back up saying, hey, maybe we should be, by the time we get finished with this story, we should be right around the hour and a half mark. So that's actually good. I was able to measure out the time pretty well tonight. What's up, Goat? Tonight was trivia. We did okay, but no wins. Okay. You know. Oh, trivia. Okay. You did bingo last night. Okay. Tonight was okay. Tsukuyomi Moon Phase is a wacky vampire anime classic. Tsukuyomi Moon Phase is one of the lesser known gateway anime, but its spooky vampire leanings make it perfect for Halloween. And I would actually agree with that. That along with Soul Eater are both pretty good Halloween animes. I've seen Tsukuyomi before. It does have kind of a Halloween, ran a little darker, but another good um, anime that would be perfect for Halloween, of course, is Trinity Blood as well. So Timothy Donahue. All right, the article was written by Timothy Donahue, published 5 hours ago. So here we go with this. The 90s and early 2000s had many well known and well regarded anime, but they also birthed just as many forgotten and obscure titles that were lost in the shuffle of the medium's growing national popularity. Which, yeah, you publish a lot of stuff, and some stuff is going to be more popular than the others. That's just a natural thing. One of these was Tsukuyomi Moon Phase, also known as simply Moon Phase, which of course was dubbed by Funimation. Moon Phase is an example of a title that was localized in the early 2000s and quickly forgotten, with Tokyo Pop's release of the original manga actually going unfinished. However, Moon Phase's goofy comedy featuring a sometimes silly cat girl vampire and horror twinged dramatic turns make the forgotten supernatural anime perfect for Halloween. Here's a look at what Moon Phase was about, why it worked, and which version fans should revisit. What is Tsukuyomi Moon Phase about? Look at that little cutie right there. Moon Phase follows a photographer named Kohei Morioka, who visits Germany on an assignment exploring the occult. Upon entering a mysterious castle, he meets a vampire girl named Hazuki, who intends on making him her servant one way or another. Unfortunately for her, he's seemingly immune to her manipulation and wiles. Though, apparently thanks to Kohei, Hazuki is freed from the spell that trapped her within the castle. With her newfound freedom, Hazuki begins living with her would-be servant in Japan. Despite these supernatural happenings, the show is by no means a horror anime series and is far from being too serious. Instead, it focuses on comedy and hilarious romantic antics. Some pretty funny stuff. Some of the links that she goes to try to make him her slave. albeit ones with supernatural twists. Recurring gags involved pots and pans being dropped in a Looney Tunes fashion, making things much more slapstick than scary. This sense of humor, um, which was many times just straight up random and weird, is one of the reasons the show was so popular. Likewise, there is also the fact that that the vampire is a cat girl, which at the time of Moon Phase's release was synonymous with anime and otaku culture. I'm sure if any of you went to anime conventions back in the 2000 back in the latter half of the 2000s, early 2010s, you saw a lot of cat girl cosplayers out there. This association has died down quite a bit, but it's a perfect example of the early international anime zeitgeist, and how it helped to propel Moonface to popularity. The cuteness factor of the vampire girl also made the show something of a predecessor for the moe boom. Other cat girls and weird beauties show up later on, so similarities to harem anime could arguably be drawn. When combined with its silly, chill, and irreverent intro theme, it's the perfect anime to watch about vampires for when viewers don't want something scary. Moonphase does get dark and moody at times. However, especially in its opening episode, Moonphase manga versus anime. It says a manga panel right there. Though the general plot between the anime and manga of Tsukiyomi, Moonphase, is mostly the same, there are still some notable differences between them. Characters are introduced earlier um, in the anime than they are in the manga, and the relationships with each other are also more fleshed out. This manifests mainly in the ending, as the anime is somewhat controversial due fans feeling it was forced and made the show into quote unquote even more of a lolicon series. There's also noticeable differences in art style, making the anime blatantly more moe, but also making its comedic parts even wackier than the manga. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that aspect of it. The anime is fairly easy to come by, as the DVD collection of all 25 episodes plus the OVA can be purchased on Amazon and from other anime retailers. It's also available to stream through Funimation or for digital purchase on Amazon. The manga, on the other hand, is harder to come by, so the moe anime may be the best bet for fans of blood-sucking fun. Alrighty then, so there we go. So that's all the main stories tonight. Let's see how everybody's doing here. I'll just find myself stuff here real quick. Alrighty then. That goat says Leto. It was fun, and I walked in. All the bartenders were congratulating me, laugh out loud. Someone won $1,000 tonight on the game, on some kind of game. I was playing electronic bingo where it's at. It's nice, goat. Everweeb. Everweeb hearing cat girl in 20-mile radius breathes heavy. Whew. Getting through the desert, Paper Mario took a bit. Neat it up. Yeah, we're past the hour and a half mark. Let's see how things are going here. Okay. Yeah. So, well, May just asked me to do it. Are you guys ready to wind down now, or shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead and niche it up? Well, I know you already said it. I'm just saying if anybody else wants to niche it up, or maybe there's other things they want to talk about. Maybe 1,000. You know how many weeds you can buy with that? All right, so Woody's saying niche it up. Okay. All right, guys. So without any further ado, let's take. Today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. First off, we're going to head back 50 years ago today, as on this date, 50 years ago today, the 15th issue of Vampirella went on sale on this date. 50 years ago, 50 years ago today in 1971, from Warren Comics editor James Warren. The aforementioned eponymous title character Vampirella in the resurrection of Papa Voodoo. So yes, on this date, 50 years ago today, the 15th issue of Vampirella went on sale for 60 cents for 60, and it was 64 pages. And it was kind of an anthology series back then, a horror anthology series, it looks like. Vampirella was the main character, but you also saw a number of other stories, including House is Not a Home, Quavering Shadows, Welcome to the Witch's Coven. So, there you go. So there's that one. Ooh, interesting. Neat. Yep. Okay, so and this just in. Ricada will be on his Ricada Media channel in 30 minutes, or 26 minutes now, I guess, where he says, "Let's talk like lawyers with good logic." So there we go with that. So just giving you guys a heads up there. So now, moving on to the next piece in each history. As we're back in 1991 as we were last night. So on this date in 1991, former Jim Crockett Promotions enhancement talent Tommy Angel and Tommy Seabolt would defeat the Stormtroopers for the South Atlantic Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles on this date back in 1991, 30 years ago today, in Lincolnton, North Carolina. South Atlantic Pro Wrestling, as I remember, was a wrestling promotion that was started up, I believe, by Paul Jones, formerly of Jim Crockett Promotions. After I believe, after he left JCP, after Ted Turner took over, he started up. Actually started up South Atlantic Pro Wrestling in in the Carolina in the Mid Atlantic area, um, taking with him other former JCP talents, including like Wahoo McDaniel, Tommy Angel here. You know, some of the guys who basically just decided to. I even believe that like some of the other guys like the Kernodles. Um, they also went there as well. And he also had it's also in the early days of like Chris Chavez's career, who everybody knows, who everybody would come know later as Tatanka in the WWF. Oops. Oh, Racket streaming again. I'm gonna be there late. He'll be on the Ricada Media channel tonight. He expects his band to be over with and um, screaming on the regular channel Friday. Hmm. So, anyways, so there we go with that one, and then finally, final piece of niche history tonight. Streaming, screaming, banned, whatever. All right. So, anyways, the last piece of niche history here happened 20 years ago today, as Rave Master, Studio Dean's Rave Master, debuted on the Tokyo Broadcasting System 20 years ago today. So Rave Master premiered in Japan on the Tokyo Broadcast TBS, not to be confused with the TBS here in the States. It is a Tokyo Broadcasting System. So on this date 20 years ago today, Rave Master would premiere in Japan. So there we go. So all the news items were a little further back in time. So with that, guys, I thank you again for being here. May, welcome back. Hopefully, we'll see you more here. As always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Reminder once again that on Friday we'll be, taking another trip down Comics History Lane, in which we'll be continuing our look at June of 1938. This Friday we'll be looking at comics that went on sale from Dell Comics and Centaur Comics, including looking over some titles including Mammoth Comics #1, Little Giant Comics #1, Little Giant Movie Features #1, and Amazing Mystery Funnies #1. We'll probably be reading some selections out of Amazing Mystery one, and these will be reprints, but these will be stories that we have not read before. So hopefully, and Batgoat, of course, as always, I'll send you the link earlier in the day. And I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow night for another night of nightly niche news coverage. And I look forward to seeing you guys. And until then, bye.